Welcome back to What's the Word. I'm so excited. No, I haven't had the Bible pulled up yet, but we will pull it up. Can we put the light on? It's very dark in here. You can almost not see. You just see the glare from the sun. It's kind of rainy out, so... Ta-da! Let there be light! There's light now! Alright, so I wanted to start with this video because, I don't know, that's what I do in the morning. I make my coffee and I sit here and I scroll through Facebook or TikTok or whatever and find these beautiful reels because, you know, I love to cry. Who doesn't love to cry? Just kidding. But seriously, I just love to, like I said, find all the avenues to get closer to God and find more godly people and people who have hearts for us, for God. We mentioned about the circle. Know your circle, right? So I don't know these people, but I do know my heart and I know God's heart and I know that that's all he wants is our heart. So I wanted to start with this real quick before we get into our chapter. I do have a goal, all right? I posted it on Facebook. I have a goal of making 365 YouTube videos by the end of the year. Right, so I'm at 266 before this video. 266 videos before this video. So this would make 267. And I only have 79 more days. Can you believe there's only 79 more days left of the year? OMG. So I was thinking last night about a lot of things, but we'll get into it after we watch this, because it kind of goes with what where I wanted to start with you guys and how I wanted to perceive this video. All right, so let's listen to our friends. There's a couple of them, and it's only this this man talking. I don't know his name. It doesn't say his name, but it's only this one man talking, and the other one is just in awe, as I am, and I hope that as you are too. I don't know why when I do these videos does it echo. I'm sorry that it does that, but at least you could still hear it, all right? So let's get into it. Thank you for spending time with me. Also, don't forget to share, subscribe, follow, comment. Nice comments only, please. I will not address any negative comments. There's just, I can't. I won't. Mwah. I love you.
You ever had somebody send you something that was just too good not to share, but maybe a little too much to type? My dad sent me something the other day, and I thought it was awesome, so I was just going to share it with you. If you take this basketball right here, you put it in my hands, yeah, it's worth about $15. That's it. If you put that basketball in the hands of LeBron James, it's worth about 30 or 40 million. You take this football right here.
Can you imagine the same basketball, right? You buy it at Walmart, he says. At $15, you buy it at Walmart. $15 worth in my hands. LeBron James, $3 to $4 million. Can you fathom that? I cannot. Like, I know basketball and I know, you know, obviously he's famous, but can you imagine a $15 basketball? That's insane. Look.
You put it in my hands.
And it keeps going.
It's worth about, I don't know, $10, $11 probably. You put it in the hands of Peyton Manning, it's worth about $50, $60 million. Depends on whose hand.
50 to 60 million for a $10 football. That's insane to me. That's insane, but it gets better. It gets so much better.
You take this golf club right here. You put it in my hands, it might be worth $50, maybe. You put it in the hands of Tiger Woods, though, it's worth $80 million. You see, it depends on whose hands it's in. If I have a stick in my hand, a rod in my hand, I might could beat away an animal or a wild animal or something trying to come at me. But you put it in the hands of Moses and it parted the Red Sea.
A stick or a rod, something that you find on the side of the road, something that you could just pick up. Noah finds sticks all the time. Sticks. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I just love it. And it's making me cry because it's true. I love it. I love it.
A slingshot in my hands. It just becomes a kid's toy.
Right.
You put it in the hands of King David, and he slays a giant with it. See, it depends on whose hand it's in. And, you know, 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread would feed me with some bread left over. You put it in the hands of Jesus, and it feeds thousands. Depends on whose hands that it's in. I had a couple nails in my hand right now, I would build you a birdhouse if you're lucky. Might nail down a piece of wood. But you put them same nails in Jesus' hands, and it leads to salvation and eternal life for folks who love him and folks who trust him. You see, it depends on whose hands that it's in. And your worries and your cares and the things that's got you stressed out, if you leave them in your hands, that's all they're ever going to be. But if you put them same worries and cares and your problems in the hands of Christ, he's going to see you through it. He's going to take care of every need that we got. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. But just remember, it depends on whose hands that it's in. Give everything you got to God and let him handle it for you.
Can you understand that? And I needed that. I really needed that. Because I was thinking last night, I tell you guys about the Mary Kay, right? So how God gave me Mary Kay. I hit my year anniversary this month. I don't know the exact date because, as you know, I got it in October and Danny passed in November. So it's been, like, very hard for me to accept it. It's hard for me to work it. It's hard for me to get out of the house. God is telling me and showing me other ways to work it, how to make it, how to get things. So if you leave it in his hands, he will guide you to where you need to be, what it is that you need. Just leave it in his hands because it depends on whose hands it is. If in my hands, then it gets thrown away. It gets lost. In God's hands, it's going to become very, very beautiful. And I don't know how, but I do know, like I said, this is what he's leading me to do. So we're going to do really quick the verse of the day again. If you openly declare that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved.
What's up, everybody? This is Jonathan Evans, author of the book Fighting Your Battles, and I got this verse for you, Romans 10:9.
I think it's at 11. What's going on? Hola, what happened? Technical difficulties, excuse me. I don't know what's going on. Huh. I guess we're not meant to do this today then? Which makes me sad, because it was wholesome. Hola, hello. Maybe we can come back to it. I don't know what is going on, but see, I love it too because it gives you like the verse of the day and images. It makes you the images, and it's not loading either. We're having some technical difficulties with this. Let's clear everything. Troy. I don't know what's going on. I hope our Bible friend gets to read to us. We are on chapter 16. Yes, I was doing devotional, so that's where I am there. Chapter 16, we're going to learn about manna. Oh my god, look how creepy he looks. Ah, that's scary. Manna and quail from heaven. I don't understand why they made sweaters like that. Why on earth did they make sweaters like that? They don't even have holes for your eyes. So why would you zip it all the way up? And why would you want zippers on the side of your face? That hurts. Anyways, so we're on 16:1. Then the whole community of Israel set out from Elam and journeyed into the wilderness of Sin. Ooh. The Oh my goodness. The geographical name of Sin is related to Sinai and should not be confused with the English word sin. Between Elam and Mount Sinai, they arrived there on the 15th day of the second month. 1 month after leaving the land of Egypt. So 1 month after the Passover, right? They celebrated how God set them free, how God didn't kill them, the blood of the lamb, and then how they walked through the Red Sea, right? And then it says the 1b is the Exodus had occurred on the 15th day of the first month, right? The Exodus. We learned about that in our last chapter about the Exodus, about the bitter water in the desert. Oh my God. The bitter water in the desert, and how they just threw a piece of wood and it was a song of deliverance, how God set them free. Okay. So the wilderness detour, right? The Passover, the wilderness detour, escape through the Red Sea, and then the song of deliverance of how God saved them. So now we are on manna and quail from heaven. All right, let our friend read it, and I love it. I love you guys. Whatever, like I said, look at, there's a bunch of different versions. The ones with the little speakers, the ones that will read to us, and some of them say that there's others. All the ones with the arrows, you can download them for offline reading. So if you lose service, you can always get it. Like I said, my favorites are the one that we're reading, the NIV, and the Children. But the Children doesn't read to us or offline. I do not like the King James Version, although it is a good version. And the NIV is my favorite. NLT is also my favorite, but see the little numbers too. That means how many different things that you get to read. See, this is the one we have, the NLT, and we have 5 different versions or readers. And a lot of them don't read. A lot of them just for down offline views or whatever. See, but with this is the one that we're doing, and we have 5 different, and I love the one that we have, as I've showed you before, because it's dramatized. It's not just one narrator, it's a bunch of them, and they make it come alive, and I have music that comes with it, and I love it. So while we're letting our friend listen, I wanted to show you a couple things real quick. Where'd it go? Where's that hat?
What hat? Hanging.
I just seen it right here.
Yes,
Right here. So we finished our hat. Finished the Warmth of Love hat. I am currently working on a mitten for it. I've never done a glove, but it was a YouTube video I found. So we're doing that. And, oh my God, this kid, stop.
No.
I had to pause that for a moment because I wanted to make this. It looks like nothing right now, but it is going to be a phone case. I am tired of dropping my phone, and I'm going to make it a little phone case so I could just carry my phone with me all the time. Mm-hmm. And maybe like a over-the-shoulder thing, and that way if I have it, need it, you know, and hopefully it won't drop as much, but just wanted to show you that. While our friend is reading, that's what I'm working on, and reading along in my NLT Bible. And then before we read what manna is, actually, hold on. Before we read the chapter about manna, let's learn what manna is. So manna, what was it? Manna was a substance that looked like small white seeds left on the surface of the ground when the dew lifted. It tasted like honey and looked like coriander seed. It had to be collected fresh every morning. In Exodus 16, we're getting there right now, verses 13 through 36, and it says, see also Numbers 11, 7 through 9. Manna is a Hebrew word meaning, what is it? So manna means, what is it? This is the question that the people asked, since they had never seen anything like it before. I don't think I've ever seen what a manna is. So, let's get into it and listen to our friend. It is a pretty long chapter, actually, and I love long chapters. We know that I love long chapters. So let's listen to our friend.
Exodus chapter 16. Manna and quail from heaven. Then the whole community of Israel set out for Edom and journeyed into the wilderness of Sin, between Edom and Mount Sinai. They arrived there on the 15th day of the second month, 1 month after leaving the land of Egypt. There too, the whole community of Israel complained about Moses and Aaron. If only the Lord had killed us back in Egypt, there we sat around pots filled with meat and ate all the bread we wanted. But now you have brought us into this wilderness to starve us all to death. Then the Lord said to Moses, look, I'm going to rain down food from heaven for you. Each day the people can go out and pick up as much food as they need for that day. I will test them in this to see whether or not they will follow my instruction.
I love that very much because that's currently what I'm working with my children. And they do not follow my instructions at all. Like I said, I had a spaz session with Cameron yesterday because doesn't follow instructions. So I love that God did that in this precision, right? He said, look, I'm going to rain down food from heaven for you. Every day the people can go out and pick up as much food. So right now they're starving. Remember, right now they're so hungry that they don't think they're ever going to see food again. So are they going to actually listen to God and his instruction of what he wants them to do? Let's continue on, right? I'm going to test them to see whether or not they will follow my instructions. Love it.
On the sixth day they will gather food, and when they prepare it, it will be twice as much as usual. So Moses and Aaron said to all the people of Israel,
by evening you will realize it was the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt. In the morning you will see the glory of the Lord because he has heard your complaints, which are against him, not against us. What have we done that you should complain about us?
Then Moses added,
the Lord will give you meat to eat in the evening and bread to satisfy you in the morning, for he has heard all your complaints against him. What have we done? Yes, your complaints are against the Lord, not against us.
Then Moses said to Aaron,
announce this to the entire community of Israel. Present yourself before the Lord, for he has heard your complaint.
And as Aaron spoke to the whole community of Israel, they looked out toward the wilderness. There they could see the awesome glory of the Lord in the cloud. Then the Lord said to Moses, I've heard that...
Sorry, I gotta pause it. There it again, right? There it is again. By evening, where'd it go? We already read that. So on the sixth day, they're going to have twice as much. By evening, you will realize By evening, you will realize it was the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt. By morning, you will see the glory of the Lord because he's heard your complaints, which was against him, not us. We haven't done anything that you should complain about. Then Moses added, the Lord will give you meat in the evening, and bread to satisfy you in the morning. For he has heard your complaints against him. What have we done? Yes, your complaints are against the Lord for taking us out of Egypt and leaving us hungry, right? Then Moses said to Aaron, announce this to the entire community. Present yourself before the Lord, for he has heard your complaints. And Aaron spoke to the whole community of Israel, and they looked out toward the wilderness, and they could see the awesome glory of God in the cloud. Again, Always keep your eyes to the sky because God is in the clouds. He's in the rain. He's in the air. He's everywhere, right? In the evening, you will have meat to eat, and in the morning, you will have bread, more bread, all the bread, you have all the bread you want. So they said manna, right? And manna is like honey. So is that honey bread? Then you will know that I am the Lord your God, right? Oh.
Israelites complaints. Now tell them, in the evening you will have meat to eat, and in the morning you will have all the bread you want. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God. That evening vast numbers of quail flew in and covered the camp. And the next morning
So in the evening, they will have meat to eat, and they had quail, right? So the evening, vast numbers of quail flew in and covered the camp. Can you imagine a whole bunch of birds just flying in, landing, and then you're eating all that meat? I don't know what quail is, but it's probably like chicken, hopefully, right? And can you imagine? And then the area of the camp was wet with dew. Oh.
Area around the camp was wet with dew. When the dew evaporated, a flaky substance, as fine as frost, blanketed the ground. The Israelites were puzzled when they saw it.
Practice
What
is
is it?
perfect.
They asked each other. They had no idea what it was. And Moses told them,
It is the food the Lord has given you to
Not
eat.
now, though.
These are the Lord's instructions. Each household should gather as much as it needs. Pick up 2 quarts for each person in your tent.
You're done.
All right, so the Lord is giving them instructions right now. These are the Lord's instructions. Each household should gather as much as it needs. Pick up 2 quarts. That's a lot, right? 2 quarts is a lot. And then the 16, it says 1 homer, which is about 2.2 liters. Which is, if you know what a liter, the 2-liter bottles of soda, well, it's a little bit bigger than the 2-liter bottles of soda. That's a lot, right? And then also, we're getting down there, 2 liters for each person in your tent. That's amazing.
the people of Israel did as they were told. Some gathered a lot, some only a little. But when they measured it out, everyone had just enough. Those who gathered a lot had nothing left over, and those who gathered only a little had enough. Each family had just what it needed.
Each family had just what they needed. But when they measured it out, Hebrew measured it with an omer. Everyone had just enough. Those who gathered a lot had nothing left over, and those who gathered only a little had enough. So it doesn't matter if they grabbed a lot or a little. They had enough. Each family had just what it needed. God provided just what each family needed for their needs.
Then Moses told them,
Do not keep any of it until morning.
but some of them didn't listen and kept some of it until morning. But by then it was full of maggots and had a terrible smell. Moses was very angry with them.
Right? Think about that, right? And we knew that it was going to happen because they weren't supposed to keep it overnight. So not only did they keep it, right? Because again, they went through, so each family had just what they needed. Then Moses told them to not keep any of it until morning. But some of them didn't listen. Some of them didn't pay attention. They didn't care. Who is he to tell us that we can't keep it till morning? Then anybody who's dealt with maggots knows the disgusting smell that it brings. And now their tents, their camp smells like that. It's disgusting. Ew. So of course Moses was very angry with them, right? Did they follow God's instructions like he had asked them to? No, they did not. Let's follow on.
After this, the people gathered the food morning by morning, each family according to its need. And as the sun became hot, the flakes they had not picked up melted and disappeared. On the sixth day, they gathered twice as much as usual, 4 quarts for each person instead of 2. Then all the leaders of the community came and asked Moses for an explanation.
Right? So, ooh. On the 6th day, they gathered twice as much as usual. 4 quarts, right? So they were gathering 2 per each person. Now it's 4 quarts. Hebrew is 2 omars, which is about 4.4 liters for each person instead of 2. Then all the leaders of the community came and asked for Moses for an explanation because they weren't supposed to keep it overnight, right? They're not supposed to keep it overnight. For the 6 days, are they going to have to keep it overnight now? Because remember, God made the Sabbath day where we're supposed to rest and not work, right? So let's continue.
He told them, "This is what the Lord commanded. Tomorrow will be a day of complete rest, a holy Sabbath day, set apart for the Lord. So bake or boil as much as you want today, and set aside what is left for tomorrow."
So they put some aside until morning, just as Moses had commanded. And in the morning, the leftover food was wholesome and good, without maggots or odor.
Right? So they had done it before without God telling them, and it became with maggots and odor. But now on the 6th day, God said he wanted the Sabbath day to be holy. So he allowed the food to last overnight so that way they could have food for the morning, right?
Moses said,
"Eat this food today, for today is the Sabbath day dedicated to the Lord. There will be no food on the ground today. You may gather the food for 6 days, but the 7th day is the Sabbath.
There will be no food on the ground
that day."
some of the people went out anyway on the 7th day. They found no food. The Lord asked Moses, "How long will these people refuse to obey my commands and instructions?"
Right? So how long will they refuse? First of all, I told them don't keep it overnight. They kept it overnight. Now I'm telling them to keep it overnight and not to go out in the morning because there's already going to be enough food. Why are they not listening to me? Right? Why? Why do they not listen? Why is God asking Moses, do you think? Right? Why isn't God asking the people? How is Moses supposed to know? Because Moses was angry with them as well, right? Moses was like, why aren't you listening? He asked them himself. God told you to not keep it overnight, and you kept it overnight. And now again, some people went out anyways on the 7th day, and then they found no food. Like, they haven't learned that Moses is the portal between them and God, that whatever Moses speaks came from God. So they need to listen, but they're choosing still not to listen, even though Moses has proven time and time and time again that he is God's speaker right now. God is speaking through him to these people, and they're still choosing not to listen. Even though, again, God has proven over and over and over and over and over again what they need to do. They need to listen, and they're still not listening.
They must realize that the Sabbath is the Lord's gift. That is why he gives you a 2-day supply on the 6th day, so there will be enough for 2 days. On the Sabbath day, you must each stay in your place. Do not go out to pick up food on the 7th day. So the people did not gather any food on the 7th day. The Israelites called the food manna. It was white like coriander seed, and it tasted like honey wafers.
I love honey wafers, right? The Israelite called the food manna. Manna means, what is it? It was like white coriander seed, and it tastes like honey wafers. Ooh, it tastes yummy.
Then Moses said,
"This is what the Lord has commanded. Fill a 2-quart container with manna to preserve it for your descendants. Then later generations will be able to see the food I gave you in the wilderness when I set you free from Egypt."
Moses said to Aaron,
"Get a jar and fill it with 2 quarts of manna. Then put it in a sacred place before the Lord to preserve it for all future generations."
Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He eventually placed it in the Ark of the Covenant, in front of the stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant. So the people of Israel ate manna for 40 years until they arrived at the land where they would settle. They ate manna until they came to the border of the land of Canaan. The container used to measure the manna was an omer, which was 1/10 of an ephah. It held about 2 quarts.
All right, so we'll read these two. Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded. Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. He eventually placed it in the Ark of the Covenant in front of the stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant. He placed it in front of the testimony. See, note on 25:16. That's 17. When the ark is finished, place inside the stone tablet inscribed with the terms of the covenant, which I will give you. Which is, where are you? Hebrew, place inside the ark of the testimony. Similar, 25:21. The Hebrew word for testimony refers to the term of the Lord's covenant with Israel as written on the stone tablets and also on the covenant itself. So 25:21. This one. Oh wait, 25:21. That's this one. 22. Oh. There's no notes for 25:21. But 23, 25, 16. Oh, it says similar in 25:21. So 25:21 is place inside the ark the stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant, which I will give to you. Then put the atonement cover on top of the ark. Excuse me. So that's what that is. That's what that is. The covenant that God gives Moses, right? So the container used to measure the manna. God told them not to keep it overnight except for on the 6th day, right? But then now they're having to collect it so that way they can tell their ancestors, right? Get a jar and fill it with 2 quarts of manna and then put it in a sacred place before the Lord to preserve it for all future generations. That way we can see. Because as humans, we have to see to believe, right? But in the Bible, we're going to get to it too. It says, those who see and believe are great, but those who do not see and still believe are even greater, right? Something to that effect. When we get to it, we'll see. But it's something to that those who believe, right? There's the story of, I have to see to believe. If God doesn't show me any signs, then I'm not going to believe that he exists, right? But then he shows them. And that's when it comes. So you have to see to believe. And that makes you great because regardless, you believe. Are you serious right now? What? Grr. I'm almost done. And he's like, I don't understand what he's doing. Like I said, parenting is hard. But anyways, so you have to see to believe. But those who don't see and still believe are even greater because they just have the faith that God is looking for, right? So, and the container used to measure the manna was an omer, which was 1/10 of an ephah. It held about 2 quarts. Hebrew and omer is about 1/10 of an ephah. So, we know that an ephah is about 2 liters, which, like we said, the 2-liter bottles of soda, and maybe just a little bit more than that. And that's what they had to collect and put in the Ark of the Covenant that Moses had made on Mount Sinai, which was what? Mount Sin, we learned. So, yay! We are on video 267. And we're going to get into the water from the rock. And then Jethro's visit to Moses. It looks like chapter 17 is a short video. A short chapter. So we're going to go water from the rock. Israel defends the Amalekites. And then chapter 18. So we might do just chapter 17 and 18 on our next video because... like I said, chapter 17 is short, and I don't like short videos. I like to spend a little time with you. I know you might not, for me, ADHD, you get distracted, but I hope that I entertain you enough to at least spend a half an hour with me, right? So even if it's a half an hour a day, We're gonna Jethro visits to Moses, and then Jethro's wise advice is where we're gonna read, and then we're gonna learn about the Amalekites. All right, thank you so much. God loves you. I love you, and I want to see what the heck he is trying to do, and then we'll get back into our next video. Mwah. I love you so much, and hopefully I can achieve this goal with the help of you guys and the dedication of God. And don't forget, Mary Kay me. Just message me on YouTube or Facebook. My name on Facebook right now is Smith Paula. Hopefully I can change it. I'm not sure. But like I said, my Facebook got hacked and I had to create another Facebook. But if you need it, just let me know. And I love you guys. I'll see you back here for our next chapter. Have a great day.